Just eating a cashew nut, not a good idea when you're speaking. Okay. So when you think of an orchestra, the only reason an orchestra sounds so beautiful is because all the instruments are playing in tune. They're not all playing together, but they're playing in a way that they should, so everything synchronizes and everything sounds really good. It's all in harmony. And that's a little bit like our chakras. They're not all firing up at the same time. Like my throat chakra will be more, it's really working harder now than some of the other chakras. So just like any orchestra, when you get that squeaky violin, it sounds awful, and it doesn't matter what else is playing, the whole symphony just goes out of balance. Yeah. So that's the same as I see the chakras. So when we have something that's wrong, or something where we're not in harmony completely, and that's on a mental, a physical level, or emotional, or a spiritual level, then all of the chakras are going to be out of balance. So the reason, as I said to you this morning, the reason I got the Healy was because of this chakra program. I mean, I absolutely love working with the chakras because they are just there to tell us a story. And I've done over 100 readings, as I said. Now I've completely lost track because my Healy, it's broken a couple of times. So I lost all my lists. So I sort of had to start again. So I've got really no, but I know it's way over 100. Now the chakras, when you understand how they all work, and they all build up from the base, just like anything, in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the bottom here is the most important. The largest part of the triangle is our basic human need, which is for shelter, for food, for water, for the basics. And that's what the root chakra is also all about. It's our base. It's the foundation. Muladhara, Sanskrit name, actually means root support. So it's very much about how supported do we feel in our relationships, in our finances, in our health. And anything below the hips on a physical level that you will have problems with will have to do with the root chakra. So that is, lower hip, very lower part of your back. Anything with your legs, your knees, your feet will have some imbalance in the root chakra. And as I was saying, the other thing, and I never realized this at the beginning, but when you understand that each of the chakras also relate to a different age through our life, that can really start to give you an understanding of when some of these issues that we have, and we've all got traumas from some level, emotional, physical traumas at some level, and most of them start from that root chakra. So the root chakra represents those first 7 years of our life, the most important years of our entire life, because those are the years that we build up who we are. Because as the church says, you give me a child up to the age of 7 and I'll give you a man for the rest of your life, or whatever the phrase is. But that's very true, because before we're 7, we're still in that theta brainwave. So we are like in hypnosis. So everything that is said around us and to us, we take on as ours. The beliefs, the values. So one thing to remember here is they do not belong to you. None of that does. But we take them on, we practice them, and then we use them as if they belong to us. This will also go into the time you are in the womb. Okay. And when I've done my chakra programs, what we do is we go in, and I use a lot of the tapping. And this is before I was using Healy, but I've done a lot of the tapping, and we will go way back into the womb to find out where the traumas have actually come into the body. And I've, been with clients who have been in their 60s or so, and they have released a lot of the emotional traumas from way back, from this early age, that have cleared stuff right in their present day. They've been carrying it around for 40, 50 years. So it's really, really important that we have a look at what is going on for us in our emotional sense. So that's the root chakra. And as I was saying, in this last couple of years, this, whatever you want to call it, I've never seen the root chakra so imbalanced. Because when we look at the personality types of each of these chakras, which there are as well, the root chakra represents 40% of the population. And these people are the builders, literally the builders who will build houses. They might be the accountants who are building the foundations, the business owners, these sort of people. They are the people who, number one, do not like change. So you can understand, going through what we've gone through, we've had no certainty. It created loads of fear and anxiety. So root chakra types in particular were totally rocked off their roots. So if the root is out, everything else is just, it's like wavering like this. So, when you hear a lot of people and they'll say, oh, well, just do your affirmations, go and tell yourself how much you love yourself. Well, you can do that, but it will still come back. You can say, yeah, I'll step into that. I truly love myself and da-da-da-da-da. And then it will just go, because you will get that fear, or you'll get solar plex telling you, don't be so stupid. You're not worthy of loving yourself. So unless we clear from the bottom up, you're not going to clear for us to be in complete divine harmony. So the first three chakras that we talk about are all to do with how we show up in the physical world. So this is root, Muladhara. We know that's the foundation. It's the earth element. Then we come into Svadhisthana, the one that's just underneath the belly button, the navel. Svadhisthana, this is the real emotional center. It's the water element that it represents. It's also orange. Complementary color is blue. So this is all about our sexuality, our creativity. When you think this is the place where we create babies in that area, this is a really, really powerful part of our body. And most people don't realize this. And in kinesiology, as a kinesiologist, we would put our hand on the navel, which would represent the 5 elements, and we can muscle test to see which one of the elements is out of balance around this part. It's the hara, the tantien. It's like when you see any martial arts, the way they're standing, it doesn't matter how big or small they are, they have got this sense of power because they're coming from this tantien place, this hara. So Svadhisthana is that place where we need to be creative. It's quite different to the root chakra, because root chakra are very solid, they're very grounded. You'll find people who never move out of their town, out of their county, out of their area at all. They are definitely very, very strong in their root chakra. I'm not strong in that because I like change. So for me, being told that you can't have change, or you've got change, it was like, oh, bloody hell, I want to go off and do things. I don't want to be stuck here. So that for me was also anxiety sort of driven as well, because I wanted to go off and do things. And I know a lot of you will be able to relate to that. So it works on both levels. So Svadhisthana, this place of creativity, you'll find when I've looked at, when I've done a lot of the chakra readings, people who are really in that creative state of copywriters or artists, or they will be very strong. That chakra will be very, very strong for them. But they probably won't be able to express it because that's not their power area. They will struggle with that. And they will struggle quite often with the solar plexus because they don't believe in themselves. So they've got all that self-doubt and they've got that judgment. So Svadhisthana is that, it's almost like when we go into that childlike state, so it's very different from the adult of the earth. And you're coming into this fun person. So sometimes we need to bring that energy into the root. It's like, get off your ass and let's go and do something. You haven't moved from here. Let's go and have a party in Blackpool or wherever, I don't know. So this is where I always say the chakras either side are their best friends, because they're the ones that quite often you need that energy to sort of say, right, let's go and do this. So when we come into solar plexus, Manipura, above the navel, and remember, all the physical issues that you have around these areas will relate to that chakra. So when we look at the Svadhisthana, anybody who has any hormonal issues, lower back problems, a lot of digestive issues, that will all be to do with Svadhisthana. So that's Svadhisthana. Also, sexual trauma. This is where it will show up. And I truly believe within this one, there's a whole big thing about, as we get older, we tend to put more weight on around that area. And I do think that actually when you look, and this is something I do actually, I didn't mention this, see, I told you I'd tell you new stuff today. When I do my chakra programs, and this is something you can do, what you notice with a lot of women, as we get older, your hips get very tight. Yeah, they're quite rigid. Do figure of eights. Do infinity. I use infinity sign for everything. If you rub your hands together, I've used infinity sign to heal cuts, to heal bruises when I've fallen off my bike, because I'm a cyclist and I do fall off. Figure of eight, and it will get rid of it. So if you put some music on and literally move your hips, you will open up Svadhisthana. It can be so powerful. And when I've done this with women, they have really struggled to move their hips. Really, really struggled. But like anything, the more you do it, the more we open up this area. We would need to open up Svadhisthana so that the energy can come straight up from the earth through the water element into the fire. So the fire of Manipura, the city of jewels. This is known as the city of jewels. This is our place of power. It's a place of ego. It's the place of duality. Everything has a duality, as we well know. It's the place where we make a choice or we don't. It's the place where you'll see when it's in its extreme energy, when it's really over energized, you will see, particularly politicians are great to sort of like mention here, because you will see that a lot of them are totally over energized in their solar plexus, because it's like my way or the highway. Not interested in what your opinion is or your thoughts are. It's like you either do it the way I want to do it or get lost. And that's very solar plexus, very Manipura. And it's the place where we go into that judgment. We're not good enough. You know, we can go in that self-doubt, self-worth. It's the adrenals. So this is where we feel that pit in our stomach there, that upper part, when we get that gut feeling. It can be also digestive problems here too. So the upper digestion, think about the back. Do you have any issues with the middle of your back? These sort of things, okay, on a physical level. So then we'll come up to heart, Anahata. This is what we know as the bridge. So the bridge of, I'll go through the names again afterwards. I'm only reading half your questions here. So Anahata, it's easy to remember this one. Ana, just Hata. So that means unhurt, unstuck, unstruck. So we know this is the bridge. It's green. Okay, so it's the opposite colors to root chakra. This is why when we're feeling out of sorts and we're not grounded, how good does it feel to go and walk in the woods? We need that sense of nature, the greenery, to bring us back down into that place of just peace and balance. And equally with the heart, sometimes we need more of that red energy. We know that red, pink is, you know, the sort of sign for love. So green is it's the center of nurturance. It's the center of neutrality, the center of, you know, this will cover the lungs. So if you are really stressed, what do? We breathe from the upper part of our chest. We take those short, sharp breaths. We maybe even hold our breath without even realizing it, because we're getting stressed and we're getting ready to run, because we're going into that fight, flight, and freeze. So Anahata will also have to do with broken hearts, forgiveness, compassion. How can we come through? How can we open up this area? How much do we actually shut it down because we've been hurt in some form or another? And sometimes consciously, we don't even know that we've shut the heart down. So these are all very, you know, and you'll notice when if you do a chakra scan, you use the aura and do the chakra scan, that quite often you will get the same ones coming up. And then you really know that those are the ones to work on. And what I find is that you quite often will get people who are quite strong in the physical ones, so the first three, and they've got, you know, the chakras are like right down when it comes to the spiritual, or other way around. Some people are so up here with the fairies and really up there, totally ungrounded. So this is where we need to keep this in balance and to understand where do we need to pull the energy in from one of the others to help us. So then we come to throat. my favorite. Vishuddha, soul's gate. So just think, this is the connection between the body and the head. So covers the shoulders. So if you have any shoulder issues, throat issues, neck issues, ear, mouth, teeth, any of this stuff, it's all throat chakra. And as I've said so many times, this is the one chakra I've never seen anybody who has not got an issue with the throat chakra, because we are all taught from a very, very young age, it is not safe to speak up, and it's certainly not, and it was a major, major issue for me, huge issue, to the extent when I got divorced. In fact, I hadn't even been divorced by then, but I found out I had a thyroid issue, which wasn't surprising when I look back now, and I think, because I didn't speak up. Didn't speak up as a kid, didn't speak up, really with my marriage, when I should have done, because I was too shit scared of, what was going to happen. Because for me, speaking up was either confrontational or aggressive. So shut up. Better to keep safe and not say anything and mutter under your breath and then get like another wallop or something, which is what used to happen. And also, when we look at the ages here, the root chakra, you'll often see this will be represented in the first 7 years. So we do the root chakra, the first year is the root. The second year, when you're age of 2, it will represent Svadhisthana, so sacral. Then it will come into Manipura at 3, heart at 4, throat at 5. What happens at 5? We go to school. And then we really know we're not allowed to speak up, because the first thing they do is tell you to shut up and sit down and don't move, as a 5-year-old. I mean, when you think about it, it is completely and utterly bonkers. No wonder we get so messed up by the time we're sort of in our adulthood. So throat chakra, really think about what is going on here. Do you get neck problems? Did you as a child have all these issues with throat infections, ear infections, adenoids? I don't know if they do that, but I know they used to take the adenoids, the tonsils out. This is all throat chakra. Doesn't it make sense? Because as a child, you probably didn't even know how to speak up. So to me, it's an art. And when we speak up, and this is the one thing that I've actually done masterclasses on just the throat chakra. When you think about the throat chakra and you think about communication, I think it's an art. It is a skill to learn how to communicate effectively. And whenever you speak from here, from a place of wisdom, and you speak from a place of compassion. Because what tends to happen is when we're in, say, a difficult conversation, we either shut down or we blast out from solar plexus. It just goes bleh, and it comes out all wrong. And it's aggressive and it's that fiery energy. And you just think, oh shit, didn't mean to say that. It just didn't come out well. It's like even more fiery. And also the other thing, whenever we're in that state of wanting to speak up, whenever you want to communicate effectively with somebody, wait until you're both in the neutral zone. Because you will never achieve an argument or a solution when you're both like this, because it's always a win-lose situation, and we always want a win-win situation. So think about, go for a walk, ground yourself, get your red root boots, as I say, stick your feet in the most beautiful red root boots, ground yourself, and just then come back into alignment and then say, okay, can we now have this conversation? Because there are some things that I need to speak about. And you'll find it's very, very different. I've worked extremely hard because I was disastrous with speaking up. So Vishuddha, yeah, soul's gate, and it is your divine right. Never forget, it is your divine right to speak up. It's no one's right to shut you down, because that is total and utter bullying. So think about where that's coming from the other person. You can start recognizing which chakra are they really stepping into in an imbalanced way. So it's over-energized or under-energized. The thing with the throat chakra also, you will meet people who are very quiet and they're like little mice. And so that's really under-energized because they don't feel safe enough to actually even speak up as such. So throat chakra, we could speak about all of these for hours. Ajna, third eye, the point of wisdom, the point of intuition, this point of knowingness. So important. It's like we want you to look from the inside out, to really connect into what is your soul. What is your soul wanting you to actually say? Now, when you think of the heart is the messenger from the soul. Okay, so we're looking inside out. So if you do your meditation, just think about stepping in behind your third eye and just, you know, you can just imagine looking outwards into this beautiful light, whatever you want, but always imagine that you're looking out. What is it that you really need to connect to? Because we've got all the answers within us. We just, I call it the committee. We're too tied up with the committee telling us what to do. And that will generally be the solar plexus. It's the mental. These are the mental thoughts coming from the solar plexus, and it's non-stop crap. So, and then of course we got Sahasrara, the crown chakra, which is just connecting us up into the divine source of all. So when we look at the personality types, people who are completely up in Sahasrara will not even be aware of their physical body. Very few people, they will literally, they're not even all monks. They will be the monks who are sitting in a cave for weeks on end with 2 bananas and an apple or something. And that's all they survive on, because they do not need anything. They don't even notice they've got a physical body because they are so connected to the source of all there is. They're not connected into the real world at all. And of course, we have to connect with what's going on around us, whatever that is. So for us to use this system to see what's going on, okay, the heart chakra might be out of balance. What do I need? What do I need from throat? What do I need from solar plexus, from the Manipura and Vishuddha? How can they help the heart say what the heart wants to say, or to put into action? What does it need? What does the heart need? Or for example, you know, if you're coming back down to the root, if you're feeling really anxious, how can Svadhisthana help you? Get out and have a bit of fun, put some music on, get those hips moving. That can take you out of that place, go back into nature. So there's so many different ways. I mean, Healy is such a fantastic tool to use to bring these chakras into balance. Now, when I do the readings for people, I don't think I've ever done any reading that has not been full on. And I say quite often, people, not quite often actually, every now and again, people will say, when I'll get to the first one, because you know, you get, when you scan it, you'll get the lowest 3, and then you'll get 3 analyses of each of those 3. So you get 9 different analyses. The first one, they might say, oh, I don't get that. That's not me at all. I say, okay, let's just leave it there. Let's just see what the rest of the story is saying. And it is always spot on, always totally spot on. And then when I send the frequencies, even when I do a chakra reading, I'll send the frequencies, maybe 2 minutes 49. That's what I normally do. I take them through a meditation. Just ground yourself, put your, you know, imagine you've got roots coming down, really feel safe wherever you are. And then I will read out each of the statements as they are, close their eyes, and I just say, just receive them. Don't even try to cling on to those affirmations. It's almost like you're sitting on a cloud and they're just coming into your auric field, which is what they're doing. The energy, the vibration, the frequency, it's coming into your field. Just allow yourself to accept what those words are. And we go back and we reassess, and I do the chakra scan again. And it's normally shifted, but sometimes some of the ones at the beginning will have come down. Because obviously now we've had a different realization and it's triggered something. And so it's like, God, yeah, maybe I need. But generally what I find is 2, maybe out of the 3 will still be the same, which is showing that we still need to work on those points. Those chakras are the ones that really need the work. And obviously it depends on what your intention is when you actually set the Healy up to do the scan. What do you want the intention for? Because it will change. Obviously, you can do it the next day and it'd be completely different. But the chakras as an energy system, because it is just one of the energy systems, it's like, you know, you think of the meridians as the train lines going up and down, the channels or the rivers. And we think of the chakras as these pools. So like they're the vortices of energy of the pools that connect the meridians, which is the other energy system, which I work with a lot as well. So does anybody have any other questions?
I was going to say, Fiona, are you wanting to do a scan and see what's happening for the group just now, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it. Yeah, go for it. Third eye. Just name something. Yeah, so you've got the name. I mean, I could never remember the names, but I love the names, and I love the Sanskrit names for them as well. The understanding of the names. So does that give you a little more understanding of, sorry,
yes, Fiona, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's been marvelous. Thank you.
And how you can actually use this system. And you know, you can use Healy, but I always also use mudras, I use crystals, I use mantras. I love mantras, love chanting. You can use, you know, the colors of food, you can use the colors as well. You can use infinity, one of the most powerful symbols. If you use this over anything, it will rebalance because you're crossing the midline. So yeah, let's just do a little one here and let's see what's going on.
Okay, do we want to just take a photo of everybody on, let me just see.
And set an intention. What does everybody want to get out of it? How do you want to feel?
Okay, I'm going to just take a photo of everybody, and this is where we're going to just vibrate into everybody that's on the call, and also anyone that's listening to the recording. So we'll just put okay. This is when everyone checks my spelling. Okay, and it's today, and we're doing it for the UK. Okay, so we're going to go to the aura analysis. So does everyone have an intention thinking about it? And we're going to go for the scan. Okay.
See, what's interesting, when that goes so slowly, the second time you do it, it goes straight through.
Okay.
Which is really interesting because it shows how much clearer the aura has actually become.
Okay, so we'll do the analysis.
Wow, look at that.
That is so different from this morning.
Totally, yeah.
That is really
cool. Really interesting to see. So you've got solar plexus, you've got third eye, and you've got crown. I don't know why they call it forehead.
Yeah, and look at how the root chakra is the lowest.
Yeah,
so
but obviously not a priority.
You know, it's the grounding.
Yeah, I don't know why that comes up like that sometimes, but.
So we're just going to start the analysis.
Yeah.
Do you actually include the high negative relevancies?
Do I talk about them?
No, do you add them into the analysis, or do you just leave it blank?
I just leave it blank.
Okay, so I'm just start.
Otherwise I'd be there forever. Because whenever I do these, it takes at least 45 minutes by the time, because I go through it quite thoroughly with them. So, yeah.
Do you want to go? Is
Go
the
on.
idea to have them all like level, or so
Yeah.
like say they're all maybe at 70%, would that be good? Or
Yeah, I mean, you know,
get them all 100%?
the optimum is to have them at 100%. But look, let's face it, we don't. If we were 100%, we'd have nothing to work on, would we? It'd be like, oh, I'm in the perfect zone. I've never seen anybody with 100%, or not on all of them. I've seen quite a few of them that come up at 100%, but nobody with a whole lot is right at the top. But what we've got there today is pretty good. So sometimes I have to translate this into my English because Marcus Schmieker's German into English. Sometimes you're like, eh?
Yeah.
So let's just see what's this. I know that. So really, when you look through these, what I look at is, I do go through the percentages, but I'm not going to go through that because that's actually quite, it's another thing, isn't it? It will be here forever. So look at the present state and look at the desired state description, because that's what we really want. So I know that I'm an infinite soul and in a physical body. That's what we want to focus on. Forehead shining in the root chakra. Yeah, so it's totally out of balance because it's actually shining right down. So for me, this would be saying, if it's shining down into the root chakra, this is a sense of not feeling safe within, you know, feeling anxious, feeling just totally out of balance. It's not identifying with the physical form. Does that? Okay. Know that I'm infinite soul in a physical body.
Ready to move on to the next one?
Yeah, let's have a look at the next one. Mental body. Person defines their value through other people, think that their value if they have many friends. Since they recognize this pattern, they increasingly stand by their own opinion. So this is the solar plexus shining the solar plexus heart. Okay. I am valuable and sincere. So just think about how this is relating to all of you. And sometimes it might not totally get in, but just look at, and sometimes when you look at the present state, that doesn't relate, but you can look at the desire state and you think, yeah, I totally get that. Mm-hmm. You know, I am valuable and sincere with myself and others, and I stand by my opinion. So this is really standing in your power in solar plexus. Okay. Mental body. Person gives up control to other people. That's very solar plexus. Okay. Shining in solar plexus heart again. That's interesting. I responsibly control that which is to be controlled. Okay. So basically stand in your power, girls. Yeah. Solar plexus D. Person controls things that can be controlled. So it's not actually that bad. Existing state is further anchored. I control the things that can be controlled. Yeah. Okay. 82%. The authority for their own life is taken back by the person. Times of change are imminent. So, done with that. I take responsibility for my life by taking it into my own hands. Okay. So that makes a lot of sense because we know we're going through huge times of change. So this is a matter of really stepping into your power with the solar plexus and knowing that you are in control and that you can take responsibility for your life by taking it into your own hands. Yeah, I get that. Are you all relating to these?
Yeah.
Yeah. So third eye again, the person has learned to control their psychic perceptions. Yeah, so you see this is shining down in solar plexus, which is the control center. So it's like, not trusting, not believing in your intuitive wisdom in a sense. So I accept my psychic perceptions and integrate them into my life. Forward chakra shining, forward chakra. Yeah. So look behind the curtain of life. I love that.
I suppose that one is the same as what you said about the third eye going in and going behind.
Exactly.
And actually looking out.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, we always think about, okay, look in here, but I always see it as if you're almost like a little person, you're standing behind and you're just looking out through the window of it. Third eye, 77, due to lack of mental awareness. Reducing themselves to their physical form. Mental awareness, harmonization, fortune. into the sacral. Okay. Yeah, so look at that. I know that I'm an infinite soul that goes beyond the physical body. So this is getting out of the physicality of who we are, of the judgments about who we are, that lack of self-worth that comes into this. It's like getting out. So remember, solar plexus is all about our thoughts. So it's like, was this solar plexus or was this third eye? It was third eye, yeah. So it's going into the sacral, yeah. So third eye, due to mental awareness, the person is reducing themselves to physical form. Yeah, so you're just not tuning into what the third eye is actually saying. Stepping into that state, yeah. Crown, the change in one's own life are perceived. The person is experiencing a life crisis. Okay. So again, shining here. What are you not being able to speak up about? I master the challenges of my life with ease, and I am internally strong, which is beautiful. Okay. Crown, authority is perceived as powerful and controlling. I knew this was going to be in the solar plexus. So can you see where this relates? Authorities are powerful and controlling. How often do we, we look up to so-called people and just think, oh my God, I can't even connect. And that's a great description of that. So I perceive authority as supportive and equal. This comes up so often when I do readings as to how people see authority. And again, it is a perception. At the end of the day, we are all equal. It is just a perception, to respect, to honor your elders, to do whatever. But actually, we are all as equal. And that was the last one. Okay.
Yeah. Will we do
yeah.
Vibrated for the 2 minutes 49 that you said?
And I'll read it through. So all of you, but yeah, just ground yourselves for a minute. Just close your eyes and really just receive these frequencies as they're coming through. Just feel like you've got your red root boots on. You're really grounded. You're really safe. I am valuable and sincere with myself and others, and I stand by my opinion. Taking some nice long deep breaths. I responsibly control that which is to be controlled. The existing state is further anchored. I control the things that can be controlled. I take responsibility for my life by taking it into my own hands. I accept my psychic perceptions and integrate them into my life. I know that I am an infinite soul that goes beyond the physical body. Nice long deep breaths. I master the challenges of my life with ease, and I am internally strong. I perceive authority as supportive and equal. I know that I am an infinite soul in a physical body. Karen, it's just gone off.
That's it, stopped. So would you like to do another scan and see what comes up with that?
Yeah. Okay, girls, just notice how you feel after that. If you felt any tingling, whether you actually, whatever you felt, everyone feels different things. Calm and peaceful. Yeah, Adrian, it's lovely, isn't it? Calm and peaceful, lovely. See how quickly it just goes through.
Yeah.
Second time. Okay. So you can see where it's shifted and changed. We've still got solar plexus. Did we have, we had sacral before, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So you can see where it's now come up with the root, which would make sense to me. So you can see where the spiritual ones have all, you know, they're pretty level. So solar plexus here, which is our power center, which makes complete sense. And if the power center is a little bit out, then this is where it's now saying. So all of those that we had would obviously more of a priority to work with than the root to start with. Now it's coming up with the root. It's like, okay, let's just work on what are those foundations that underlying are probably creating some of those imbalances within the other chakras.
Mm-hmm. Right, we're ready for the analysis.
Yeah, you can have a quick look at that one, yeah. Sacral manages to trust their feelings more and more and is ready to give up control. That's good. Trust my feelings and let them guide me. Yeah. See where the first lot were very much about control, weren't they? That first round that we did, there was a lot of control going on with it. When we had the crown and also the solar plexus. So person has low self-esteem due to injuries on the personality level. They feel emotionally extorted. Okay. I have strong self-esteem. I'm valuable. Solar plexus. Root. Person is feeling emotional extortion at home. Okay. Shining sacral. I perceive my home as a safe and free place for development. Person uses money, so that's root as well, to exert emotional extortional control. Shining, so that's shining in the emotional center as well, yeah. Treat everything and everyone with respect and appreciation. Yeah. Solar plexus. Refusal by the person to control the things in their life that need to be controlled. They prefer to maintain a spiritual attitude, says up in the third. Okay. Responsibly control the things that need to be controlled. Okay, there's a lot of control in this. An idea of justification of existence through parenthood. Okay. Chakra shining in the sacral. So again, this is an emotional one. I experience unconditional love and my existence is valuable. Okay. Person is afraid to make decisions and take responsibility for them. This is shining in the root, solar plexus in the root. Yep. Confidently take decisions and assume responsibility. Okay. And can you see that bottom one? Just go up again, Karen, a little bit. When you come right down to the desired state, I love this bit here. So each one. So the root is all about the experience of personal freedom allows the person to be as they really are. So when you're out of fear and out of anxiety and out of feeling that you're out of control and all those things, you can be who you really are. But we just live with this sort of casing of fear and anxiety and, you know, and everything else around us. We're not living as we truly should be living. Sacral. Person is trying to live up to the expectations of one or more of the family members in terms of parenthood. Shining in the heart. Okay. Experiencing, God, it makes me yawn. I get this healing on. Okay. Experiencing parenthood in accordance with my own beliefs. So this is something you as a parent, or it could even be, I'm not sure what it was up there, but it could be your parents. So whatever comes into mind, Person is trying to live up to the expectations of one or more family members in terms of parenthood. So we've all been, you know, through that stage of parenthood where we're trying to live up to dad's expectations, or, you know, we don't do this because dad wouldn't like that, or mum wouldn't like that. So this is a matter of, you know, what is your belief about what you feel? Person perceives God, insecurity or fear about parenthood again. Sacred shining in root. Okay, it says fear about parenthood. What's this all about? I feel secure about parenthood and trust my inner self. Okay. Is that the last one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I'll vibrate that again for...
Yeah, let's vibrate it. Why not? Okay, so just close your eyes again, girls, and I will read them out to you. So just really feel into those and just resonate with whatever resonates with you on whatever level. I have strong self-esteem and I am valuable. Just really grounding yourself, taking some nice long deep breaths and just receiving the frequencies into your field. I perceive my home as a safe and free place for development. I treat everything and everyone with respect and appreciation. I responsibly control the things that need to be controlled. I experience unconditional love and my existence is valuable. I confidently take decisions and assume responsibility for them. I am experiencing parenthood in accordance with my own beliefs. I feel secure about parenthood and trust my inner self. I trust my feelings and let them guide me. I have strong self-esteem and I am valuable. I perceive my home as a safe and free place for development. I treat everything and everyone with respect and appreciation. I responsibly control the things that need to be controlled. I trust my feelings and let them guide me. And just take a nice deep breath and just bringing yourself back whenever you're ready. Okay.
That was amazing. Thank you so much.
How did that one feel?
Really good.
Amazing what you can do in 2 minutes 49. So does anybody have any other questions? Oh. Wow. That's a bit of sacral going on there, I reckon. Energy. Tonal energy.
Excellent.
Brilliant.
Liz, any comments?
Yeah, of course you can, Karen. If I put my email me on this, see it properly. And you know, I've got if you lose that, you can go onto my I've got a YouTube channel, which is Fiona Clark, the Energizer. You can always find me on there. There's loads of stuff on there. I haven't got much stuff on there in Healy, actually. I need to do that. But yeah, message me, because actually I love the chakra system. And there's so much you can experience with it.
Liz, you got it.
Hello.
Hi.
I was just going to say thank you very much. It's been very interesting.
Have you had your Healy for a while, or?
Probably a year.
Excellent.
Have I used it effectively in that time? No. Do I intend to? Yes. Sometimes I'm addicted, and then other times, I don't know. But yes, it's been very useful. Thank you.
Are you joining us for the roadshow in London?
I hope to.
Excellent. Nice to meet you. We'll be there.
And you too. And thank you for this evening.
Magic. Thank you. Hazel, have you got anything to add? Oh, you're on mute.
Yeah, Adrian, use them more. Use the Chakra Pro. And then, of course, what you can do is just go into the pink one, work out which one. So, you know, what I would do from this reading we've had today, for example, because we've had sacral and solar plexus, I would definitely use, say, the solar plexus and the sacral, and probably the root as well. Go into the root, go and do the whole lot, because actually they're only about half an hour, the programs on the chakras anyway, but when you go into the pink app, so you know, they're not very long. So just see how you feel, see what resonates. Or I douse, you know, I use my pendulum. I'm not sure. I'm on Telegram, yeah. On my Facebook page, Fiona Clark, or I've got my group. Come in my group if you want, girls. It's called the Zenergy Zone. I'm all about the Zen. So I'll just put it in here. That's my Facebook group. And I'm always talking about different stuff with energy of anything.
Excellent. So who of you ladies are, Liz, you said you're going to join us in London. Karen, are you able to join us for any of the road shows? You unmute.
Right, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, I booked the one in London. Very excited, can't wait.
Fabulous.
I'm relatively new, but what I've played around with so far has been amazing, but there's so much I don't know. So I'd like to join in on all these things that you're doing, which is so good to help us and keep us enthused.
That's it.
There's so much I don't know, believe you me. There's so many programs I've not even touched. But
yeah,
that's why
it's fast.
But I think Karen,
it's so magical.
It is magical, and I think that's why when I got it, I decided to literally focus on the chakras, which is why I've done over 100, you know, readings, because I thought, right, let me just see how this works. And when you do something consistently, it'd be the same if you go into the fitness or mental balance, sort of, you start to see a pattern of what goes on for people and how it works, and it's just beautiful. It's just really lovely.
Is the one in June, is that the first one we've had in England, or have you been doing it a while here?
No, it's the first one in England. This is the so-called the launch in the UK.
Oh.
So we've got the 21st of June is in London, 23rd is in Manchester, and 25th is in Edinburgh. So if you know anybody throughout the country or worldwide who wants to come and join us,
yes,
those are the dates, because to be honest, we've got such an amazing group of people coming, speaking, sharing the testimony. And the thing is, you know, you meet different people. You don't know who you're going to sit next to.
Yeah, I know, it's great to know.
And that's what's really exciting. So, you know, we've got, if you've booked the tickets, we'll have your email addresses so we can actually send you more information nearer the time. because there's always little bits and bobs that we're adding in. We were actually thinking of having a look and seeing a meeting place before the events, you know, that you can actually get to meet people rather than just go to the event on your own and not know who's who in the zoo. So it's a case of, it's like, you know, again, we go as a collaborative and everybody is like, it's just a family again. Thank you so much, everybody, for being on the call. We have gone way over the time, but I'm sure, like I find it really informative. It's helped me a lot in learning more about the chakras. So I'm eternally grateful to you, Fiona, because your wisdom is fantastic. And thank you for sharing with us all your knowledge.
The only thing I didn't say, girls, is those of you who do have the Heelys, if you do run the chakras, I said this earlier, and I forgot to say it, I always check in with the, it's only because I'm a flower essence lover. I always go into the flower essences and check with that as well, so that you've got that as a support, and working with those and the chakras is magical. So just, I mean, if you're doing them for other people, I ask them just intuitively. I just say, do you want this one, this one, this one? And they'll come up intuitively. Or I use a pendulum and I just douse if I'm not sure. So that's just something else I just wanted to leave you with as well, if you're playing with healing.
Okay, thank you so much, Fiona.
You're welcome.
Nice to meet you all and look forward to seeing you at the roadshow.